Hi everybody, welcome back to my Lawn Bowls for Fun channel. Where am I? You're wondering where I am today. Well, I've come to Cotswold Bowls, which is in Mortimer in Reading, and Rob's invited me along today to come and chat to him about the sort of kit that a new bowler might need when he takes up this wonderful sport. So thanks for inviting me along,
No
Rob.
problem, Alec.
It's nice to see you again. Rob does come along to my indoor bowling club and every so often, and brings a lot of kit along. And but if people want to have a wider range of choice, they can come up to your shop here in Reading. Okay. Now, Rob, before we start, I mean, I consider myself quite an experienced bowler, having bowled for 40 years. But you can top that a little bit, can't you? Because you've in fact bowled for England.
I have. I've played bowls now for 38 years. Started when I was a bit younger. Started properly at 12. Played with my dad, and was lucky enough to play with good players. Won some county comps.
And you went. How many times you played for England roughly?
So I got picked for England 1994, and I played till 2014. So I had about 20 years playing for England.
Wow.
And was lucky enough to travel the world, playing World Championships, Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games. Now, you're a gold medalist?
Yes, we won a gold medal in the fours at Manchester a long time ago, 2002.
So you can't get more experience than that, can you, really?
Well, I like to think I know what I'm talking about.
Well, if I ever get stuck, I know where to send people now. No, it is great, because obviously when you come and buy kit, you want someone with experience that's going to explain the best things for you, and I can't think of a better person. I thought I was quite experienced, but Rob beats me on that one. I've represented my county a few times, but that's about as far as I got. Okay, well, thanks, Rob. So what we're going to talk about really is the kit that really most people need when they start taking up this wonderful sport. Any sport that you take up, you have to buy kit, and with bowls, I suppose it's not as much as some sports, but you do need certain things. And the one thing that I think most clubs will want you to buy before you do anything else is to buy some shoes.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, most clubs, to start with, they'll let you get away with flat-soled shoes.
Yeah.
But I think once you've sort of committed to the club that you're going to join and you're going to play properly, then proper bowl shoes, I think, are an essential part of the first thing you need to buy, really.
Yeah, it is. And I personally have got the view that it's the one thing you don't want to skimp on, because you're going to be on your feet for 2 or 3 hours in a game several times a week. You want something comfortable to wear.
The amount of times you hear people say, "Oh, well, I'm only going to walk up and down a few times." It's not like that. No. 2 or 3 hours walking up and down. If you haven't got comfortable shoes, you'll soon find out about it.
And especially outdoors, if you have to play in wet conditions, you want something that's going to be waterproof
yes,
as well.
Yeah. Some people go for comfort. Some people go for practicality. It's personal choice,
yeah,
but
okay.
Mainly it's the flat sole that is what people are after.
No, when I took up bowls, there was only 2 colours of bowls of shoes. There was brown ones and there was white ones.
Oh yes, you can.
But now, of course, there's all sorts of colours.
Yeah, you can have all sorts these days. You can have some nice bright blue ones.
Yeah.
Different
like
colours.
I've got, yeah.
But basically, the main criteria is, as you can see, the really flat bowling sole.
Okay.
Which is surprisingly grippy. People think, "Oh no, I'm going to slip with that," but no. But it is designed to be a
because if you're walking, if you're stepping onto a green, it can be slippery, and these have got obviously a good
good grip.
Okay, and now roughly, what price we're talking about from the cheapest up to the more expensive ones?
We tend to stock the branded shoes mainly, so we're looking sort of late 30s. Yeah. You can pay anything up to mid 70s if you really want to.
Yeah, well, that's what I tend to. I must admit, as I've said, I don't skimp on shoes. It's the one thing I want to be comfortable. And the last pair I bought were about £70, I think. But it lasts a long time.
But everybody's feet are different. Some people will find the cheaper ones more comfortable. It just different styles come in different widths, so it's really just finding something that's really comfortable to you.
But certainly it's nice to get away from just boring brown and white. There's some lovely colours. There's reds, blues, blacks, aren't there? All
sorts now.
Okay, so we bought ourselves a nice pair of shoes, which is going to please the club. Whether you're indoors or out, In fact, just a little point. Indoors clubs also ask you if you do have indoor or wear bowl shoes, that you don't wear them outside because of the indoor carpet. You have to make sure that there's no grit comes onto the
Yes,
carpet.
yeah, they don't.
And they're quite strict on that.
Yeah, they don't want you wearing them out into the car park. Obviously, you can wear them out on the outdoor bowls green and then go indoors with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of turning up to play.
But we're just about to start the new outdoor season. I have a different pair of shoes for outdoor, but mainly because I wear different coloured kit, which
Right.
we'll cover later. We'll talk about that later.
It's getting more technical now.
Right. So moving on now to shirts and trousers. When you join a club, most clubs have kit now. They have club kit. And not what I'm wearing today. This is a shirt that I use for roll-ups. But you'll often have to buy a shirt, but then you'll have to buy your own trousers. Sometimes clubs have club trousers as well, but usually, now again, when I took up bowls, there was greys and whites, and that was it. Because now we've got very colourful, haven't we?
Well, it varies. A lot of clubs will still go with the traditional white shirt or predominantly white shirt and grey trousers, and then white trousers for weekend matches. Other clubs, like you say, club kit, blue trousers, black trousers, light shoes, any colour really.
My outdoor club, we have a coloured top with blue trousers. My indoor club, we have a different coloured top with black trousers. So I have both.
Yes.
But at least now, generally, if you do play for a club, you have a kit to wear. You have to buy a club shirt, but you'll also want to buy a shirt if you just want to have a roll-up. You don't want to be wearing your club shirt all the time. So this is one, for example. I've had this for a few years now.
A lot of clubs, for roll-ups, you can wear casual.
Yeah.
If not, they do plain white, and then they do white with some colour.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to have a separate shirt from your club one just to wear on the other occasions.
Yeah. I like a bit of colour myself. I mean, all the shirts I've got some colour in.
Yes.
And clubs have been quite relaxed these days about having roll-ups, what you have to wear.
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay. So the next thing, the other thing is that gone are the days where all the ladies have to wear skirts and men have to wear long trousers. Shorts have become very popular with the men these days, and the ladies wear culottes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they wear crop trousers.
Yeah.
A lot of them will wear trousers. Men, certainly shorts is becoming more popular.
They're very popular, aren't they?
Not for me.
No. Well,
my legs don't suit shorts.
I can get away with it sometimes. But when you go I went up to Leamington last year to the finals, and everyone was wearing shorts.
I'm often the only one in trousers if I get there, yeah.
Okay, so the next thing, of course, bowling outdoors for, the summer season. The English weather can be a little bit changeable, can't it?
It can. Obviously, a lot of clubs, even if they've got club kit, they might not have club waterproofs.
Yeah.
So it's still a predominantly, if you're buying waterproofs, you tend to buy white, unless your club have gone for colours.
Yeah.
So obviously there's different makes, different qualities, different prices.
Yeah.
Most people will buy a jacket. Not everybody really likes wearing the trousers, but they're sold as separate, so you can most people buy a jacket to start with, and then if they really want trousers, they come back later.
I do know some people that don't wear them, and they get soaked, and I don't understand it. I mean, Again, this is aimed at new people, and they think, well, do you play in the rain? Well, of course you do. You have to
played in some terrible conditions.
If it's torrential rain, often the game is paused and then they start again. But if it's just drizzle, you just carry on playing. And with constant drizzle over 2 hours, you can get very wet, can't you? So I would recommend you buy at least a waterproof top.
And generally, if you do progress to playing competitions, the rules are basically, if the green's playable, you play, regardless of what's falling out of the sky.
So it's advisable to get something.
Yes, it's always helpful. You'll always get some use out of it in our great summer.
Okay, so the next most important thing to talk about is, of course, bowls. Everyone's going to want to buy a set of bowls. Now, I know when you start, I tell people, don't rush into it. Try several different bowls. We have all different sizes at our club, and we have the different biases, which I won't get into here about what you should buy, what you shouldn't. But you would advise someone, if they're going to just play indoors, they might have a particular set. If they're just going to bowl outdoors, another set. And if they're going to do both, there may be something that does both.
in all fairness, probably the more popular bowls, I would say, are the mid-bias bowls, so people can play indoors and out. So there isn't any need particularly to have two sets of bowls.
No.
Obviously, when people play longer, they might think, oh, I'm playing on a really fast carpet. I might need a slightly narrower bias for indoors.
Yeah.
But then the outside, the grass is a lot narrower for bias. So some people will want to buy a wider bias, but it's really personal choice. But generally, if people are starting off, they tend to buy a good all-round bowl.
Yeah.
So that opens up the possibility to have a nice set for indoors and out, really.
Yeah, I do have an indoor and outdoor set, but in fact I use Drake's Pie Professional, and I find they work fine indoors anyway. And in fact I've used those more indoors than my indoor set. But,
so I myself have used the Professional this year, indoors. I also use Drake's Pride outdoors, but I use the XP model, which is a slightly wider bias, but then I don't play singles anymore. I tend to skip all the time, so particularly outdoors, I just like something with a little bit more bias.
A bit more bias to bend round.
Yeah,
but absolutely.
I'm not one to chop and change bowls. I've used those for about 10 years now. So it's
Now the other thing again, of course, is the amount of different colours that come into the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. No one, a lot of people still use black or brown. But I've been surprised that recently, all my new people that have bought sets of bowls have gone out and they've wanted the colour ones anyway. So
yes, generally I think now everywhere you go you see mainly colours on the green. So if people are thinking I'm going to buy a set of bowls, they tend to go for colours.
Yeah.
Obviously,
look, we've got some over here. Let me just move the camera.
Obviously, the options are.
There we go. Look, there's a few different options there.
But that's just a few. There's lots more variations out there.
So yeah, you can see that there's a wide variety. Certainly, I've got blue bowls and I've got a set of red bowls I use outdoors sometimes. So
yeah, colours obviously a personal choice. Makes it a little bit difficult on what to stock because obviously there's still a bit of a wait time for bowls, but we try and cover a fair few colours and hold them in stock.
But if someone wants a particular set in a particular colour, you could order them anyway.
Oh yes, yeah. It might have a little bit of a wait, but that is possible. They can pick their own logo, they can pick their own colour rings, pick their own
Wow.
It's
and what about cost?
generally speaking, black is a little bit cheaper than colours. So at the moment, you could look for anywhere from 300 for black, up to 400 for colours. Some of the imported overseas makes, you're probably looking more for colours, up nearer the 450 mark.
But a set of bowls is going to last you a very long time.
It could last you for your bowling career, unless you feel you need to change or want to change. Then they'll last you for.
I mean, sometimes people can pick up second-hand bowls, but it's not long before they think, no, I want something a bit newer. I want exactly what I want.
Yes,
They have to just go out there and bite the bullet and buy.
Hopefully, only do it once.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly the bowls I've got now, I've had about 10 years, I suppose, and the indoor ones I've bought, which I've been using a little bit, probably about 5 years, but certainly I wouldn't be buying any more for a long time.
No.
Okay.
Obviously, once you get the right size, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, so bias is one thing which you can advise on. Size is
the main thing, I would say. Even if you pick up bowls at your club that aren't particularly the sort of bias you want, it's just getting the size and you're happy delivering the bowl.
Yeah, I do make sure that all new players at my club, when they come along, they try several different sizes. Until they find something they're comfortable with. Yeah,
it generally size of hand will guide it, but then obviously there are issues. People have got bits of arthritis, got issues with their hand, so that does all sort of govern what size you want to play with.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're out there to enjoy yourself. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to feel as though the bowl's slipping or too heavy or too big. So.
Okay, so we've got ourselves some bowls, we've got shoes, we've got some kit. What other bits and pieces do you think you might need to have a game of bowls?
Generally, there's things you'll acquire over time. You'll have chalk, you'll have a measure. Some people might have a cloth if it's a bit damp, just to dry the bowls before they deliver. But yeah, scorecard holder. There's endless things you could have, but
Yeah.
they're not necessarily essential when you're starting. You just
No.
tend to pick them up as you go.
Well, and the last thing, of course, if you've got a set of bowls, you're going to need a bag as well.
Generally, these days, people go bags on wheels.
Yeah.
But they do carry options. They do anything from small 2-bowl carriers to large suitcase type bags that
Yeah.
you can go away for the weekend with.
Yeah, I've got two. I've got a little one that holds 2 bowls, and
Yeah.
and that's if I know it's going to be a bright sunny day, I don't have to take much kit. But if it looks a bit iffy, and I need all my bowls and wet weather gear, I've got a bigger one.
Yeah, indoors, a lot of people tend to have lockers, so they just because indoors you need a pair of shoes and a set of bowls, and you're away.
Yeah.
Outdoors, obviously, you end up carrying jumpers, waterproofs.
Yeah.
Particularly if you've got an away match. So it's nice to have probably a bigger bag for outdoors, because you will end up carrying more kit than you think.
Yeah, exactly what I found. Yeah, and of course you do play home and away, and sometimes you're travelling quite long distances.
Yes,
So,
yeah. Outdoors there's more variety. Obviously there's more clubs, so you tend to have more fixtures away from home.
Yeah.
Indoors are few and far between, so most of your games will probably be at your home club. So hence you have a locker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that about covers it, guys. So you got it. Good information from not only from me but from Rob about what you're going to need. But obviously, it takes time to get this kit. Don't rush out and buy anything quickly. Do take your time. And Rob, if there is anything that you haven't got here, you'll always order.
Oh
it.
yes, yeah. We try and keep a good stock. Obviously, you can't keep everything of everything.
No.
So yeah, just a quick phone call or look on the website, and we can order it in. That's not a problem.
So I'll leave the link below. I'll leave Rob's phone number and his email address, so you can contact you if you do want anything. And do you do free postage over a certain amount of money?
over £50. We do free mail order. We use Royal Mail tracked for deliveries, so anything from bags to bowls to trousers, we can send it out in the post.
Okay, well, hopefully people will be watching this and they'll think, okay, what I need is this, this, and this, and they'll give you a ring.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And
that'd be great.
That'd be good. Okay, everyone, I hope you found that interesting. I just thought I'd bring you to a shop rather than me talk about it at a bowling green. At least we're in the right place. You can see the amount of stuff that Rob's got here, but if there's anything that he hasn't got, he'll get it for you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks again, Rob, for letting me come along and
No
talk to
problem.
you.
No problem.
And guys, I'll see you soon.